Hi everyone, my name is Samantha. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Sewing in Switzerland. I'm here today with a full set of team potatoes. So it's Spud here, trying to sleep at the back. We got this little troublemaker who's, nope, he's gone back to sleep. So I'm just going to get straight into it. We are looking at McCalls Summer 2024 sewing patterns today. I am very sorry I'm not dressed up for the occasion. I'm very tired. I'm in between a lot of vet appointments. If you've seen my other video, you'll know we've got a lot going on with them at the moment, health-wise. So yeah, so I've not dressed up for the occasion. So if you're kind of thinking, oh man, this woman's sat there in like a plain t-shirt and she's giving us fashion advice, I'm sorry. Also, if any of them do sit up, you might notice they've all got kind of red chops, so don't rush to the comments going, oh my god, are your dogs poorly? They're not. We've just shared some watermelon and they've kind of gotten a bit of a mess. So yeah, if they set up, I mean, it's very unlikely. They're very, very tired. So let's just get straight into it and look at these McCalls. This is not the full collection. This is just some of them. They're not bad. They're a bit boring. I mean, it's McCalls. We're not looking or expecting anything groundbreaking here, but it's not very exciting. But that said, they're not terrible. They're not like what we've been seeing in past collections. So let's just jump into it. So we've got M8449. I don't hate it. I actually think it's a quite nice dress. There's just nothing new about it, is it really? So what have we got? It looks, I mean, first glance, it looks like an elevated version of the So Liberated, the indie company, Hinterland dress. That was like my first kind of glance over. So what have we got? We've got collar, button placket, we've got a tie sash. It's nice. I mean, there's 100 other patterns out there. I mean, just thinking, even just staying within the big four, there's a number of vintage patterns, there's a number of like relatively new releases. I think it's 8014. I'm really testing myself here. It's like a denim simplicity dress, very, very similar to this one, to be honest. There's also, if you want to keep it indie, you've got the Olya dress pattern by Paper Theory. So yeah, it's a nice dress. There's just not an awful lot to say about it. So I actually, she says, and then she says something about it. I will say, if you are a fan of the brand Ganni, you know, the like ready to wear fashion brand, they do nice kind of simple yet elegant, quite sophisticated looking garments. It does look like a dupe of that. So if you are looking to save, you know, like 300 quid or whatever a Ganni dress goes for these days, this would be a really good dupe for that. So yeah, it is nice. It's available in PDF and paper. Sizes 8 to 26. Again, I could talk about the big 4 sizing or the big 5 sizing till I'm blue in the face. It's not great. We are seeing slight improvements. We do just have to keep calling it out. We do have to just keep saying, you know, give us better sizing, give us more inclusive sizing. So yeah, it's nice. That's about it. It might be actually really good if you've got like any weddings or any kind of afternoon day events coming up, like a birthday party or something. Good look. It is a nice dress, right? So let's move on. M8475. So this is I just can't hide these things from my face, right? I'm trying to remain neutral. It's a nice, well, I'm assuming it's a nice dress, right? Whenever I see a dress that is black, I think, why have they done this? What have I got to be suspicious about here, right? we've got this beautiful evening gown. We've got spaghetti straps or a racer back option, invisible zipper. We've got the baby rolled hem at the bottom, princess seams. We've got this empire bust line. But you wouldn't know any of that because they've made the dress in a black satin or like a black material. And whenever I see the promo pics that have used a black material, I'm really suspicious. I'm really hesitant to purchase this pattern because black is notoriously difficult to photograph with fabrics, certainly with seeing like the intricate details, right? The same like if you use like a really heavy print. I'm often kind of a bit skeptical. Are you just using that fabric to disguise something? You know, it could be a really gorgeous dress and it does look fantastic in that kind of black satin, but I need a dress that is clearly easier to photograph so that I can really zone in on what it is that I'm looking at. So, you know, I'm suspicious. Could be a really beautiful dress, but we'll never know because we can't see the finishings. So yeah, it's a pet peeve of mine, and I think I'm very justified in being suspicious of this. I mean, you know, every person who's ever made anything in a black fabric knows how difficult it is to photograph. So yeah. Sizes 10 to 28, paper and PDF. The back, I've zoomed in. It is obviously difficult to see what's going on back there. The back does look a little loose, but I can't really tell, and I can't really see any of the finishings, obviously. So yeah. So I do think it's a nice dress, and I think the other options would be nice as well, where you get the line drawings. I would like to see more promotional pics done in the other variations. I don't know why they don't do that. I'm guessing cost saving, but I would like to see more than one version made up, especially when they're so very different. So yeah, let's move on. Number M8483. This is a crop top with short or long sleeves. I don't know. I think somebody from the New Look collection has been involved in this one. I think they thought of another elasticated pattern set to make that they couldn't squeeze in on the New Look summer collection. So they went, you know what? They went to McCalls and said, can you squeeze this one on? She looks like a beautiful cloud. It's gorgeous, but why is it all in white? Like, it's giving bridal darling buds of May, right? What is the point here? So you've got this high, very high neckline. You've got the puffy sleeves, and then you've got this kind of crop top finish. So you've got the elasticated waist here, elasticated sleeve, and an elasticated neck. And the skirt is like this asymmetric tiered number that's got an elasticated waist. I don't know. The thing is, I don't hate it, right? But I think it's just not great in the all in white. And also this high neck with the elastic. If you have sensory issues with your clothing, this might not be a great option for you, because it's making me feel uncomfortable just looking at the photo. Right? It's very high, very tight elastic, and it's just pushing around that neckline. That in combination with the big puffy sleeves, no, we need something crisp for the neckline. We need something nice and crisp, maybe like a nice V-neck, something to offset that kind of puff shape, right? But we haven't got that. We've got this kind of very full, very straight edge and then puffy. It doesn't work. And with the tie sash around the middle, no, I'm really boring one of these guys. So yeah, it doesn't work, which is a shame because I love the sleeves. The skirt is very similar. I said there's been a lot of Y2K influences, and this is no different. The skirt is very, very similar to like naughty Sienna Miller or something Jessica Simpson would definitely wear in her boho era, right? With one of those really big chunky belts that like off to the side, maybe in like a denim or something, a little frayed number at the bottom. So yeah, I like the skirt. I think it could be really beautiful in like a different material. That all white I think is just a little bit too much. They're trying to make it too crisp with that all white, but the way with the asymmetric and the path and the height, I don't think it works. I don't think it works. God, do you know, every day I check my inbox and I expect to see some cease and desist from Simplicity Group, because if they've ever watched any of my videos, they'll be sicker than me. They'll be sick of me. And someone very, very kindly wrote one of the last videos saying, oh, you should definitely, you know, look into like pattern consulting. I think they would pay me to stop talking about their patterns, if I'm honest. So yeah, oh look, I've amused someone, not just myself. So yeah, it's I'm trying to see, just check my notes, see if I've missed anything. No, it's nice. There's just I think it could work, but I do think you'd have to make some modifications, especially on that neckline and that tie stash. Just get rid of that completely. But the skirt, I do like the skirt. So let's move on to the show-stopping horror show of the collection, M8476. It's called a knit bodice dress, right? So I think not wrongly assumed that it's a knit dress, just like a jersey knit dress. My friends, it is not. It is a knitted bodice attached to a gathered woven skirt. If you zoom in, it's what nightmares are made of. It is a real nightmare fuel, this dress. It's a horror show. For starters, they've made a really interesting choice with the lime green. I'm not sure what that choice was, but it's interesting. They've also got this, this is no shade to the stylist, I'm sorry. The jewelry, they've got this like odd combination of like beaded necklace that definitely needs to be much, much chunkier, or at least, you know, add a few more. And then they've got these like silver drop, very dainty earrings, and it is just, it doesn't work. It just clashes terribly, and I don't know why or what the point of it is at all. So yeah, the terrible mismatched jewelry with the lime green. And then if you zoom in, it's not even well done. It's not well done at all. The bodice doesn't fit the skirt, so you can actually see a lot of folding and a lot of puckering around the back, especially there of the knit fabric. And then the gathers, they're not particularly even, they're not pressed. At first I thought they'd left the guideline gathers in the actual, you know, like they've not removed the guidelines, but it looks like maybe they have, but it's too kind of crunchy. It doesn't look right at all. It looks poorly made. It's hideous. I think I am safe in saying that everybody will agree with me on this one. Usually, you know, a lot of people disagree with what I say, and that's absolutely fine, because if we all just liked the same thing or made the same thing, it would be super, super boring, and I love learning from you guys. But I think I'm safe to say on this one, we're all going to agree. It's just, yeah, it's horrible. It's really, really horrible. Just checking my notes, and I've written, if there ever was a pattern that I would use black fabric on for like a promotional piece, it would be this one, right? I'd be embarrassed over it. It's just, yeah. And also, I thought this was a bit sneaky. This actually, I was not happy about this. There is no information in the description. It just says knit bodice dress, which, you know, if you break it down, knit bodice dress, yeah, it's just a knit bodice. But you would assume that it was a knit dress, like a fully knit dress, and it doesn't have in the descriptor on the website saying, you know, like half of this is woven, the skirt panels are woven. You have to kind of figure it out for yourself. And if you're not a seasoned sewer, or you're new to, you know, sewing, or want to try new things, or want to try a knit dress, you might be really disappointed if you bought this, or certainly had trouble fitting the knit to the woven, which, yeah, it can be done. It can be done a lot better than they've done here. But, you know, it's a new set of skills, and I don't think that they're really advertising that. I think they've been a bit sneaky in their description, so watch out for that. So let's move on quickly. Let's run away from this one. Oh, sizing 6 to 24, 6 to 24, and it's PDF and paper available for this one if you do want to buy it. And do let me know if in the comments if I'm way off and you're all going to go, oh Sam, I'm going to make it. But I'd put money on this one that you won't. So the next one I'm going to do is two. It's like two separate patterns, so two separate numbers, but it's basically, it's for a set, but they're selling it separately. And so it's M8473 and M8474, and it's for jeans and a denim jacket. And it's made in the same fabric, so you can kind of see that they go together as a set, basically. But it's the McCalls Palmer Pletch tissue fitting method. So the Palmer Pletch is a form of self-drafting, kind of. It's where you use tissue paper to fit it to your body, to fit the pattern itself to your body. So their whole kind of thing with it is basically you don't have to make muslin. You can just fit the paper to your body and then make your adjustments on the paper and then cut out your fabric. So if you are new to pattern drafting and learning to fit correctly to your body, I would recommend buying a few McCalls Palmer Pletcher tissue fitting patterns because there's a lot of pros and cons for this tissue fitting method. But specifically on the McCalls versions of this tissue fitting method, they print the lines where you may need to make the alterations. So it actually has the pattern printed and then the alteration lines printed onto the tissue as well. So if you're a complete new person to the fitting method and you want to learn how these things move with your body, this might be a really great option. I wouldn't rely on this option as to learning pattern drafting or as to learning how to fit to your body, but it's just one tool in your arsenal that would maybe help understand as to how that fits to the body, as to how that moves with the body, is a really great option. Now in practice, it's going to be very difficult. Okay, these patterns are available in PDF. Do not bother buying them in PDF, because as soon as you print them with the printer paper and then try and fit that printer paper, that normal kind of paper, to your body, it's not gonna flow and mesh the same way as the tissue paper will. So you do need to buy the physical tissue paper version for this to work, in my opinion. Now, be prepared to fall out with anybody that lives in your household with this if you're committed to undertaking this. Okay, hear me out. It is very, very difficult. It's nigh on almost impossible to fit the tissue paper to your body without someone else's involvement. So you will have to recruit your spouse, your roommate, a sibling, a friend, in a really desperate case, your pet, to help fit this tissue paper to your body, okay? It might lead to some arguing. You've all been warned. I don't recommend it. It's also notoriously hard to move the tissue paper without it tearing. It will rip. It will rip. You will cry. You will swear. You will go through a roll of sellotape trying to repair it. You'll probably have to do what I did and buy like 3 other versions of the same pattern just to be able to salvage the ripped bits. It's not easy. It is not easy, and the whole idea of it is that it's time saving because you don't need to make a muslin with it. You're best off just making a muslin, to be honest, if you're like a seasoned sewer. If you're not, and you are just wanting to learn about pattern drafting and fitting specifically to your own body, this is a really great couple of patterns. Or this brand, this McCalls palm plesh tissue fitting method is good option because it does have the alteration lines on there, so it is just good to see it visually, what would move where and why that would happen. There's also some really fantastic books out there. There's some really brilliant resources out there. It's not something we often cover together on this channel because it is, I say, way past the beginner stage. But if you're a beginner and you want to learn to fit your body, then you've got to start somewhere, no matter what stage of sewing you're at. So if you do want to kind of have a little look at pattern drafting and pattern fitting to your body, that's maybe something we can look at together in a series of videos. It's not something that we could maybe do in one video, but certainly we could look at the resources that I have available that I can share with you that I think are fantastic, and then we can maybe dig a bit deeper into that. So yes, they're not bad because they've got the alteration lines. No, they're not easy to fit at all, and you will fall out with anybody that lives in your house or your local vicinity, okay? You've been warned. So I'm just reading my notes. Let's check if I've missed anything. No, I have not. Oh, sizes 8 to 26 available in this. So let's have a look at the next one, M8457. Not sure about this one. Again, remember when I said be cautious if the pattern, the promo pictures, is printed in like a heavy print or a black fabric, because it is just notoriously difficult to photograph. This is that case again. We've got a heavy print and a black fabric, and I can't really see what is going on. I can't see the lines, I can't see the shape so easily. It kind of all melds together, which is great. It does look nice, but I can't give detailed information as to why it looks why it does or what is going on with it. So it's a bit frustrating, I find, and also I think it's a bit sneaky because I think they know this and I think they do it on purpose. So looking at the fit of A and C, again she's wearing B, I can't tell really what's going on. They do cut across the top of the chest, so you've got this kind of band that goes along here, and then you've got these gathers that run underneath. So it can look, if you're particularly large chested, like you're smuggling a pack of sausages, right? The way that the band sits above the apex of the breasts there, it runs across that top, it can result in like a lot of pushing out underneath, right? Like you're smuggling something, like, I don't know. So yeah, it can look uncomfortable. Again, they've only made the promotional photos with this one view, which isn't too uncommon, but considering both views look a little bit different, I would like to see more promotional photos in a fabric that is easier to photograph, in a fabric that I can see clearly what's going on. So So it could be really nice, or it could look terrible. We're not going to know. So yeah, there's also not very much information on the description as well. I do find the description for the McCalls summer pattern, specifically this collection, has missed out writing a lot of it. The description information is very, very scant across all their patterns. And I feel like someone's just got a bit lazy and they've not included any of the information, which is a bit disappointing actually, because if you're going to spend a lot of money with them, you know, and patterns aren't cheap, they are expensive, then you want to know what you're getting, right? It's just lazy. It's lazy. There's no excuse for it. So yeah, let me just check if I've missed anything. No. Sizing S to XXL. Again, don't really know what that means. It's a woven, it's not a knit. We haven't got any stretch. Okay, we'll be back. And we're back. If you saw my other video, just giving you a brief update on how Spud's doing and the cancer treatment is going, which is now on a course of steroids. And she's not angry. It's not like me, they're aggressive or anything. She's just got some really strong opinions. Some jets went by overhead and she had some strong opinions about being woken up and disturbed. So yeah, hopefully you can now see what I mean when I said in the other video. She's just like a little bit chippy, just everything's kind of bugging her, right, on these steroids. So yeah, we'll just, we'll move on, shall we? We'll move on. So number M8477. Again, we've got some interesting styling choices here. First glance, it's giving Netflix American crime drama in a prison. We've got that very famous kind of orange thing going on here, and just to really like seal the deal with the outfit, we've got don't zoom in, don't do what I did. We've got these tangerine sandals that are in a very obvious different shade from the actual dress, so it's not even colour matched, and they don't fit the model, so her poor big toe is hanging off this shit. She can't be comfortable. She cannot be comfortable. So she's wearing these ill-fitting sandals and I can't stop looking at her toes. And then they've just kind of shoved this rattan style bag on her. It's like, oh no. I don't know. I think the stylist called in sick for this shoot and they were like, what do we do? Nothing, it seems. So we've got, what we're looking at is the dropped shoulder shirt dress. We've got a double yoke. We've actually got this almost 70s style collar. The way they've kind of paired it, the collar starts further back on the neckline there, which is quite 70s, I think, especially when paired with this lovely V-neck that we've got going on. It's a nice dress, absolutely not in orange at all, but there's not a lot to be said about it. It's just a nice dress. The first dress we looked at is very similar to that. It's just enough different for them to be able to release it as a different pattern, but I mean, there's not massive differences. Like if you saw them side by side, you might think, yeah, two different dresses, but if you wore one and wore the other in the same fabric, I think people would just assume it's the same dress. There's not a lot different. So yeah, just seeing if I've missed anything. Sizes 8 to 26. So it's not a bad dress, but it is on the website, the Simplicity website, for $22. Would I pay $22 for this dress? Absolutely not. No, I would not. It's very average, right? So yeah, that is half of the McCalls Summer 2024 collection. Do let me know what you think, or if you enjoyed the video, or if you have any opinions on the patterns, or if you're going to make any. I hope you've all enjoyed seeing Team Potatoes. I always get a lot of messages and it's always very divided. I'll get messages from people who say, yeah, we love to see Team Potatoes. Thanks for having them in the video. And then I get the other half of the messages going, why are the dogs here? All I can hear is snoring, which, you know, is fair enough. They're very, very noisy. So yeah, do let me know what you are planning on making, if anything, out of this collection in the comments. And if you think I've been too harsh, because you're always very quick to say, Sam, no, you're way off with this one. So yeah, do let me know if you have a different perspective, because I love to hear about it, and I love to hear what you're making, what you're working on, and what your thoughts are in general, really. And it's been lovely to talk to you all, and I'll see you all soon. Oh, and if you did like this video, do please like and subscribe, because it makes me very happy. Thanks so much. Bye.